All right, from my prior two clips, the statement of cash flows and the balance sheet, you're now financial experts or you're deemed as such. I wanted to give you a brief thumbnail of the financial case that's going to be due in week 4. And I want to call your attention that this is a case that is worth 100 points. And you have, in this particular case, two pieces of information. You have piece one that is a narrative of this family's situation. And in piece two, you have a situation where we are going to talk about their financial information in the form of numbers, and you will have a budget, which is their income statement, and you will have their balance sheet, which is in the form of numbers. And what your goal is for this particular case is you're going to write up a few page case, and you're going to pretend that you are their personal finance advisor. And what you're going to do is you're going to write up a case that is for containing 4 pieces: the summary, the analysis of the problem, recommendations, and implications. And let me just spend just a moment or two talking about what this case should look like. I didn't give you a particular a page count. I think you can do this in a couple of 3 or 4 pages. If you're succinct and well written, I think it could be in a couple of pages, maybe 3. You don't have to go through endless lead up to the explanation. But what you're going to try to do is you're going to try to talk about the summary. This is a family of 4, I believe, and they are living on a certain amount of income, and they experience a certain amount of expenses. And from the income statement, you're going to determine whether they have surpluses in general or deficits in general. You're going to try to analyze why they are where they are. So I suppose it's not too much of a clue to you once you look at the financial statements that they are in debt. And maybe they're in debt by some large amount of money each year. You're going to try to recommend to them some things that they can do to help their financial situation. I have had students in the past in this recommendation say, well, all you have to do is X. All you have to do is move to a cheaper apartment. Maybe all you have to do is sell your expensive car. Remember that all assets and all expenses are not created equally. And also you will want to remember there is a cost of change. So if they're living in a high rent apartment today and you want to have some less expensive apartment, that's a very good thing to recommend. But remember, there's a cost of change, and the family has to be able to understand what the change is, and they have to be able to absorb the cost of change, because nothing today, I think, is free. Finally, let's talk about implications. And implications, you're going to make a recommendation. And I will guarantee you that whatever your recommendations are, there are implications to those recommendations. Cost of change is one of the implications, but there may be some implications associated in other ways to your recommendations. The implications are the unintended consequences of what you are recommending to this family. Remember, you are the professional, because now you know everything about personal finance, and you're trying to analyze this family's situation. And I would hope, as a result of this, a particular analysis, you would begin to grapple and grasp your own financial conditions so that you can also analyze your own situations. Remember, what you're trying to do is you're trying to eliminate deficits and get to a point where you can save, because once you can save, you can then begin to get to a point where you can invest. And remember, there is a relationship between savings and investing, and you're trying to invest for the future so that you will have some sources of retirement income besides Social Security.